when nobody's watching. In those early mornings, when it's dark, it's wet, it's cold, you feel tired, you feel sore, it's warm on the couch. What do you do then?
I know everybody ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. This is how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That brings joy in my life right there. Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
No one goes the extra mile and keeps going.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they seem like a bunch of pussies to me.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Now I thrive in this. That's the only place to be.
There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy. Not the smartest guy. But I will work. And I will work hard.
I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete. But still I grind. I fail at most things I do. But still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do. But still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, running at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing. I was grinding.
I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it.
If you can't right now, there's no one looking, man.
If no one was looking, I had a chance to sneak in some extra work. To do a little bit more while no one's looking. They'll think I'm better than I am. So I recommend you do that right now. No one's looking, you're home alone, do more!
Do I like the long hours? No. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. But I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result.
If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and then it's raining when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in the lab studies, the thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day.
How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. And it begins now with no one looking. How you hold yourself. How you see yourself. What do you do when nobody's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Execute, execute, execute. And that's what people don't do. They don't execute. Making a freaking plan is the easy part. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team. Whatever you're a part of, it's bigger than you, man.
Nobody wants to do it. That's the thing. When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, nobody woke up with it. They got it from showing up every day and executing. And especially when they don't feel like it. You think that this just happens. You think, I'm going to show up, I'm going to put in my time, and then I'm going to be rich. And that ain't what happens. Everyone's always looking for other people to do stuff for them. Stop looking for help from everybody else. It starts and ends with you. You've got to do more. You've got to become valuable. You've got to understand that what you get paid to do is the minimum. And everything on top of that is your investment in your future.
So if you're going to stand out, don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Separate yourself. You playing against other teams and you doing exactly what they're doing. Separate yourself. Stop doing what they doing. If you stop doing what they doing, you're going to be a champion. Stop following. No more following. No more doing what everybody else is doing. Set the doggone standards. It's time for y'all to set the standard. If you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it. If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Everything you do it like this is the last time you're gonna do it.
If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get the probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. I can put an honest day's work in here that more than anyone does in a week, and no one sees it because it's supposed to be that way. This is a means to the ends. It's not the ends. And you're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your dues, so later in life you never wonder what it.
You know what you got to do to get to paradise? You got to fight like get to paradise. The ones that can fight, the ones that come back, those are the ones that succeed. Those are the icons of the world. There's many legends out there. There's very few icons.
Do I want to be here right now? No, I don't want to be here right now. I'm much rather be home watching the game. But later down the road, I don't want to always watching the f***ing game. One day I want to play the game. So by being here now ensures that I'm not going to be a spectator for the rest of my life. That's why I love the f***ing pain and progress.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you. When nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet.
Life will hit you so hard that you're not going to see a way up. You're going to be laying flat on the ground, gasping for air, wondering if this is the end for you. No, it's not. It is not the end for you. You can still come back again.
It's going to be very challenging whenever you decide that you want to grow, whenever you decide that you want to go to another level. All break loose.
It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream.
You're gonna have so many moments where you doubt yourself, where you question if you can still make it. There's gonna be so many rough times, but these times haven't come to stay. They've come to pass.
We all go through problems. They don't have to overwhelm you though. They don't have to take you out. They don't have to make your life miserable. But the real problem you have in your life is that every time you run up against a trial or tribulation, you back off, you run away. And as long as you do that, you'll run away from everything great you can get in life.
You got to get to a point where you look at life and say, you will not beat me.
It's easy to complain. It's easy to point out your circumstances. It's easy to talk about what's happened to you. It's easy to talk about your situation and what you're going through. But if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Because it's easy to be on the bottom in life. It doesn't take any energy or any drive to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you to pick yourself up and reach for something greater. If you're gonna make it happen, you gotta harness your will and command yourself to act, even when it hurts like hell. I will not stop in the process. I will take everything that happens to me and use it to push me to greatness. You got to say yes to your dreams. Yes to you. You can make it. Doesn't matter how many failures you've made. Doesn't matter how many mistakes you've endured. Doesn't matter about your defeats. Doesn't matter about what you've done. It doesn't matter that you're in a hole now. Doesn't matter where you are. The last chapter to your life hasn't been written yet. If people judge you now, they'll judge you prematurely. You haven't exposed all your stuff yet. You're still in the process of transforming your life. You're still in the process of becoming.
Some of you are phenomenally skilled, but it is a phenomenal will that says every time I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will succeed. I will not surrender.
Where you are is temporary. You will not be there for the rest of your life. It might last for a second. It might last for a day. It might last for a week. It might last for months. But sooner or later, if you don't give up, if you don't give in, it will subside.
You are great, you are unique, you are special, you are talented, and you deserve to have everything you want. And stop listening to the people who tell you you don't. Cut them off. What do they know? They don't know what the possibilities are for your life. Nobody knows that. You have unlimited potential. It takes a lot of guts to pick yourself up when you experience setbacks and people don't see the vision and people are laughing at you and they're doubting you. All those people are gonna think you're crazy. It takes guts to stand in the face of that, but no guts, no glory.
Most people, when they get rejected, it takes their power away and they become discouraged. They lose their spirit. They lose their energy. But if you want to become an uncommon person, you've got to go further than most people will ever go.
Behind every adversity, there's a blessing and a lesson. Pain always leaves a gift. The depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. You're supposed to react. You're supposed to respond. You're supposed to be down for a quick minute, but you get back up. You don't stop, and you keep standing. No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. And when those obstacles in front of you tell you to quit, you tell them, I will break you before you break me. You will not destroy me. I have come too far to quit. I'm gonna get a reward for my pain.
If you are going to accomplish anything extraordinary with the days on this planet, it is going to require you pushing through the discomfort and embracing the grind and disciplining yourself.
If you want to live your best life, your absolutely best life, you gotta do me a huge favor. You gotta watch them choices you make. People make bad choices. They wake up and make another bad choice. They make another bad choice. Now they got a habit of bad choices. And they like, how did I get here? Choices. How did I get here? You trying to get to certain places, but you ain't making the choices that's gonna get you there. You all in your feelings.
The cause of laziness is a craving for comfort. It's wanting comfort. Ultimately, your problem is not laziness. It's the worship of comfort which produces laziness. It's that I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do. It's believing this lie that if it doesn't come completely natural to me, if it's not easy, then I shouldn't have to do it, or maybe I'm doing the wrong thing.
You have to make a choice. Either you're going to resort back to your old place and remain comfortable and miss the opportunity, or you're going to have to want it bad enough to get out of your comfort zone.
You can lie to yourself and then you don't need discipline. You can tell yourself everything's okay and then you don't need discipline. You can tell yourself, you can lie to yourself and say that you're winning and then you don't need discipline. But if you tell yourself the truth, if you tell yourself the truth that you know you could be better, you know you could do more, if you tell yourself the truth, you won't have to find discipline. Discipline will find you.
The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. The greatest version of you is the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused. I have a prize that's in front of me. I know what I'm supposed to do, and that ain't it. I have to stay right here.
You can become godly through discipline. Not easy, not just because you feel like it, that sometimes you have to honor the grind.
If it don't scare me, I don't want to do it. If it ain't edgy and half crazy, I'm not interested in it. But if it's something I can't pull off by myself and I gotta stay up at night and I gotta pray my way through it, then I'm ready to do it.
Because nothing great comes without struggle.
Excellence requires discomfort.
There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in. And what I'm telling you is the battle never changes. Every day, you have to get self-control.
You will have to think and find creative ways to make the next move happen. Your next move is in between your ears. When your head shifts, your life is going to shift.
You've got to begin to think about the things you want to materialize in your life on a regular basis and think about it repetitiously. Literally, the things that we obsess about become the things that we possess in our lives. Your mind is a weapon, and you got to begin to use it and pick that weapon up and control it. Most people are out of control with their mind. They don't point it at something. They let the world point it, and they misfire all the time. So today, I want you to pick up that weapon that is your mind and begin to point it at the things you want.
Becoming successful is a situation of developing discipline, persistence, patience, grit, character traits that you don't just get. You are not fucking born with. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to fucking do.
So often, we want to blame circumstances for the way things are. We want to blame genetics for the reason we're kind of fat. We got all these problems. But might I suggest, the problem is the pattern of your response. But you can't change the product if you don't change the pattern. You can't change the way your career's going if you don't start changing your work ethic and your work habits and your interrelations. You can't change your wisdom unless you change your input. Just the problem is the pattern.
Whatever's going on is your fault. It's your fault. Accept that, own it, and then deal with it.
Every decision that you make has consequences. Are you making yourself better? Or are you making yourself worse? Are you moving forward or are you moving back? Are you making progress or are you stagnating? Every little decision you make counts.
And most people will not be successful. They will not reach whatever they wrote because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're going to quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it. Or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep going to get to go. Because you're going to wake up most days and not feel like it. You're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
You are not where you want to be, not because you need any more gifts. You don't need nothing else. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You keep talking about everybody else, you can't tell no. You can't tell you no. You can't tell you stop. You can't tell you quit. You got to get to a point where you're disciplined.
It's a muscle. The mind is a muscle. Emotion is a muscle. I don't negotiate with myself. Well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to do this. Or let me like 2 more minutes till I'm ready. There's none of that shit with me. For decades, I go, I say, we do. I'm not here to discuss this shit with my mind. There's mind, and then there's soul and spirit. And soul and spirit, my soul fucking knows. And when I say jump, you fucking jump. I'm not here to have a discussion with you. But you have to take control and train this brain. If you don't train this brain, it'll use you instead of you using it.
Everyone wants some life hack that eliminates the need to do the work, but that does not exist. You have to do the work. You've got to hold the line. You've got to make it happen.
What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? I say you crank up the volume on that question. Max it out. And then go get some.
People who win fucking do shit, and people who lose talk shit. You can win if you choose to learn the things that you need to do and then fucking do them. That's reality. That's the shit nobody wants to admit, because admitting so means that you have to take responsibility for where you are currently. And you have to say, I am where I am currently because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. And guess what? That fucking hurts a little bit. But once you accept that truth, you are able to then move forward with the actions required to get you to where you want to go.
You have no business being average, but now you justify it.
You come up with these great reasons why you can't get up at 5. You have these great reasons of why you have to do everything, why you don't execute, why you don't finish, why you don't follow through, why you say you'll exercise and you do it for about 10 days and you quit. You've got an excuse for why you're average. I guarantee you, if you were humble enough, if you were hungry enough, if you really wanted what you said, you'd sit down and you'd study what you do and you'd say, I can do this better. But I have not exhausted all my time. I have not exhausted all my resources. There's something missing. You're not where you're supposed to be. It's not going to take a lot, but it's a small gap. And the gap is called execution. If you want to execute just a little bit more, you'll be on a whole other level.
You have to master the monotonous. It's the boring It's the everyday It's the regular It means doing the that most people are too fucking undisciplined to do day in and day out with perfection. Doing it better than everybody else. Doing it to the best of your ability. You have to remind yourself that these little things that you do are going to lead to the big things. Are you going to do your workout or are you not? Are you going to do your cardio or are you not?
You think things are gonna just go your way? Well, they're not gonna just go your way. You gotta make them go your way. You think things are gonna just happen for you? Well, they're not just gonna happen for you. You gotta make them happen.
Discipline your body. Free your mind. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
How strong is your movement? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you go to sleep? And how much time do you waste throughout the day?
The plan, the idea, the thoughts doesn't matter. If you want to win, you have to execute.
So what are you doing with your time? Are you doing something productive? Are you moving towards a goal? Making yourself better? Or are you letting time slip by, wasted, consuming garbage with no purpose and no point? Stop wasting time and get after it. It's little decisions that put you on the right path.
Are you working out today or sleeping in? Are you studying today or wasting time? Are you making yourself better today or slacking off? When you make your decision, make the right decision.
What would happen to your life if you decided to stop counting the costs? If you started doing whatever is required? If you stopped holding yourself back?
What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? I say you crank up the volume on that voice. Crank up the volume on that question. Max it out. And then go get some.
You got to get to the point where you don't care how it feels. You don't care whether you want to do it, whether you don't want to do it, whether it's easy, whether it's hard. None of that matters. All that matters is that you get it done every single day. You do whatever it takes.
So if you're running 30 miles a week, run 33. If you're swimming 500 meters, swim 550. If some of you aren't doing you're 10% just getting off the couch. The more you walk away from accountability, the weaker you become. Find yourself in the grip of life. You can't find yourself by doing nothing.
When you get to that point, it's not just a mindset. It becomes a fucking lifestyle. You become an unstoppable disciplining machine, and you create a life of greatness.
That's why I'm successful. I got that dog. After 20 years of doing it, I still got that dog. And with that dog, I execute. Sharks are hunters and predators. They never stop swimming. In fact, if a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. Think like a shark, act like a shark, and behave like a shark. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to execute what I've been trained to do. And that's how you get to the next level.
If you want to be great, if you want to reach a level others will be measured by, you've got to be willing to work every single waking hour. You've got to be obsessed. You've got to be willing to get it done or die trying. Rest when you must. Recover when needed. But don't ever stop grinding. Never take your foot off the gas. Never stop. Never quit. You got to dedicate every single hour of every single day, of every single week, of every fucking year for many years to reach greatness. When you are consistently hammering on that project, on that goal, on that dream, you will no longer be dreaming about success. You'll be living it.
The thing
thing that's different about people who win consistently across the course of their life is that we expect the wins to happen all the time. They don't come as a surprise. Wins don't shock winners. They aren't amazed when they got a win any more than Michael Jordan was amazed when he hit a game-winning shot. That's what he expected. That's what we focused on. That's what we acted to do. That's what we worked to do. And because of all those things, we expect to win every time. Zero exceptions. True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can. The greatest of all time, the Tom Bradys, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants of the world. They might celebrate hard, but they don't celebrate long. Come Monday, come the next morning, they're back at it. They're focused, they're undistracted, they're driven, they're enjoying their progress, they're enjoying their wins, but they're not over celebrating them. And that's the attitude you have to have toward a single victory if you want to make it a lifestyle and a lifetime of winning.
Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. You don't have time. You don't have support. You don't have the equipment or the gear. You're too busy, and you're too tired, or you're too sore, or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies, lies, lies.
You cannot let your impulses govern and rule your life.
I just don't want you to make the same stupid mistakes over and over and over again and call it life. I don't want you to keep doing dumb stuff and say, my life is miserable. No, your life is not miserable. Your ability to edit, to make adjustments, to make corrections is messed up.
If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You've built every single step to create this. No accidents, just taking the easy road too many times, not getting up, not going for that extra rep, putting that extra mile in, the little inches of life that add up to be first place or forgotten.
Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kids, and you realize that I am where I am because of other people's sacrifice. I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen.
You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
When you master yourself, you put yourself in a position that a lot of people can't do what you do, and then you become rare, and diamonds are rare. That's why they cost so much. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride. I need you to give 120% and do it for the pride of who you are. Because life is gonna give you back what you give it. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, you're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is gonna happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something, and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is gonna happen to you. If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up.
What does a $500,000 a year person do the $50,000 a year person doesn't do? He does everything he's supposed to and a little bit more. He works hard and a little bit more. He makes money a little bit more. He saves money a little bit more. There's no easy way to the top. If you want to win in this life, you got to do what you're supposed to and a little bit more, and you can't ever stop at the finish line. You know what you got to do to hit a golf ball like me? You got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You go down, you hit 1,000 golf balls. You hit so many golf balls that your hands starts bleeding. Then you run up to the clubhouse, you wash that blood off your hand, you slap a bandage on it, and you go down, you hit another 1,000 golf balls. Yeah, you'd love to hit a golf ball like me if it was easy. Well, nothing good comes easy.
I don't care what's going on around you, because it's not what happens around you that determines your success. It's what happens inside you. And you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude, and you can control your mindset.
You get one shot. You better make the kind of decisions that's going to gonna take you to the NBA. You better make the right decisions. That's gonna take you to the NFL. It's one thing to dream about your destiny, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, saying no to quitting when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your body said stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it.
Almost everybody gets there. Almost everybody's over the hump. Almost everybody has it going. Almost is a way of life to almost everybody, but the winners, they do it. What do? They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do it and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. And then they talk about how great it is to have achieved something unique and how glad they are that they didn't quit like everybody else.
And I'm telling you, you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to get up 1 hour early. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button. If you were to make that one change, that one sacrifice, you would stop dreaming and start living it. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? How much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
What gets you out of bed? What gets you off the couch? What gets you in the gym? It's not your alarm. It's not your parents. It's not your friends. It's you. The only one that can make it happen for you is you.
No one's coming. No one's coming to lift the weights for you. No one's coming to study for you. No one's coming to do the work for you. No one's coming to do any of that for you. You got to do it all yourself.
If you're gonna get it done, it's up to you to make it happen.
Today you have a choice to make. Are you gonna be a winner or a loser? Are you gonna sit back and chill, let things slide, take the easy way? Or are you gonna get up and grind? Are you gonna move your life forward?
Success is not given, it's earned. And you earn it every single day with the effort you put in.
There's going to be more times you don't want to do something than you do want to. You're constantly going to have to do things that you don't want to do. When your mind starts kicking and screaming about having to do these hard things, you must take control. You've got to discipline your emotions. Get control of your feelings. By getting control of your feelings, you gain control of your life. When you do this over and over and over again, you change your brain. You become tougher. You become the one who decides what gets done and the level of success you achieve. And only those who discipline themselves are free in life. Your mind is your strongest weapon, but you must take control of it. You have to tell your brain where you want to go.
Don't give in to the easy path, the short-term gratification that's whispering in your ear. Shut that voice down. Do not listen to it. Listen to your will. Listen to your discipline. Listen to the alarm clock that's telling you to get up and get after it.
When your brain tells you to give in, you push forward. When it tells you to take the day off, you go harder. Don't allow your weak feelings to dictate where you end up in your life. You stay intensely focused on it. You fight through that fatigue. You fight through the noise, because on the other side of that is your greatness. You have to force yourself. Anything that's a break from your routine is going to require force, and the only way you'll get it is by forcing yourself to be uncomfortable.
Get out of your head. Get out of your feelings. Your feelings are screwing you over. I don't care how you feel, and neither should you. If you listen to how you feel when it comes to what you want, you'll never get it, because you'll never feel like doing it.
As humans, we are emotional, but you've got to discipline your emotions. You've got to activate the thinker in you. You've got to decide where you want to go and don't allow your feelings to get in the way. Discipline is doing what you said you would do, long after the mood you said it in has left. You don't want to get up? You get up. You don't want to go for a run? You go for a run. You don't want to hammer on the project? You hammer on the project. Do things that suck every single day of your life, because that's how you grow. Discipline is the path to freedom. Discipline is the driver of daily execution. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that hold you back. Make discipline part of your daily life, and your daily life will get better.
What do you do when no one's watching?
What do you do when you know you're supposed to do something without anyone there to supervise you? Do you get it done, or do you kick back and relax? That requires discipline. It takes discipline to do the things you know you need to do when it needs to be done, when everything in you doesn't want to do it. Little pressure equals little progress. Stop taking shortcuts. Stop taking the easy way. Go to the heat, because the sooner you go to the heat, the sooner the dream.
You gotta get more intense about your life. You gotta stop being so casual. You've gotta be intentional, deliberate, and focused on what you want. Because it's every single decision we make that forms our future. We have the opportunity to chase that best version of us every second of every day. Every single day alters the direction in the course of our lives, so you cannot allow another day to slip by wasted.
And what is it that makes it worth fighting for? When you're getting trampled by life, when everything is working against you, when anything that could go wrong does go wrong, what makes it worth it to you to keep pushing forward? What keeps you going?
And I don't know what you're going through right now, but I need you to remember, if you can find a why for living, you can endure almost any how.
When you're getting attacked by life, you're going through the worst pain you've ever felt, and you can find those reasons that make you strong enough to keep going, you will find a way through it.
You'll shift your inner dialogue from, why does this have to happen to me? I don't deserve this. I can't handle this, to good. I'm glad this happened. This is a chance to get better. This is a chance to improve myself and my situation. I can do this. I can handle this. I got what it takes.
We all want to be a beast, but do you know what a beast is? A beast is someone who can go through and be grateful that their legs are working. A beast is someone who's lost everything, but is grateful for the opportunity to get everything back and get even more. A beast is someone who can hit rock bottom and can say, Roger that. I'm gonna harness this. It is only up from here. I'm gonna come back even stronger.
What most people do is, once you get stressed in the process, you don't want it anymore. You give up, you fold, you quit, you're through. But in order to develop, in order to become the best version of yourself, stress is necessary. See, a seed has got to have dirt on top of it in order to grow and develop. Dirt builds character. Dirt gives you the push-through factor. Dirt makes you fight through it when you don't feel like fighting anymore.
Everybody gets dirt put on them at one point or another. And that's the moment. That teaches you to withstand it. It gives you something to push through.
So when you feel like giving up, don't. When it looks like you're not gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, ignore them. When they tell you you're not gonna make it, do not believe them. You gotta become fucking relentless. Never stop, never quit.
The most important thing is your passion. You win with your heart, not your head. You win on emotion, not on logic. The most important thing to winning is the power of believing in you. The power of believing that you can win. The power of believing that good things will happen to you. The power of believing that you're special.
You must believe that you can. And once you want something and believe that you can get it, you gotta block out all the noise around you that's gonna tell you you can't do it. Don't listen to all that. Listen to yourself, that voice within you that tells you that it is possible, that there is a way for you to be successful in this business, in this career, in this life.
In this situation that you're in, your life is at stake. You are fighting for your life every day by the way that you live it, the mark that you're gonna leave, the legacy that you're gonna leave. All that is gonna come back to you. That is your life. So don't sit back and be on the defense and allow life to happen to you. Don't do that. Instead, go on the offense. Go on the attack. Become the aggressor. Be the one that life is afraid to mess with.
And remember that everybody won't make it to your next level, because everybody won't be willing to sacrifice what it takes to create.
greatness. This is your journey. Struggle is a part of it. Losses are a part of it. Setbacks are a part of it. Sometimes you have to go through your worst just to become your best. Sometimes you have to lose everything just to gain everything. Don't let it discourage you. Let it encourage you.
Fail your way to success. Fail your way forward. Failure is only when you stop trying. Failure is just another step in the staircase to go higher.
You will never grow without growing pains. The valley might be ugly, but I promise you, the peak is beautiful, and it will all be worth it. So don't ever stop climbing, because the only way it works is if you work. The only way you progress is if you proceed. So you rise above anything or anyone that's in your way that's trying to prevent you from being great.
You know how you get confidence? By attacking your fear, attacking those hard things you know you gotta face and overcoming them. There's a big misconception out there that people who are successful are not afraid, which is not true. People who are successful are oftentimes the most afraid. They're afraid of failure, so they do everything they can to escape it. So they're gonna run the hardest, they're gonna run the fastest, and they're gonna be the ones who are gonna take every single action that they have to take to make sure they get where they need to be. So I don't want you to wait any longer. Don't worry about the how or what ifs. Make a list, put your back up against the wall, and execute on that damn list. Do that every single day, and you will be where you want to be. I guarantee it.
The journey is not easy. Everyone's hot off the start, but after a month or so into it, with the wear and tear and the grind starts to hit you, you start losing focus on the horizon, do you not? You get caught away in the daily hiccups, the ups and downs, and the wear and tear, and you focus on the speed bumps, the daily activities, losing sight of their true purpose.
Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. Don't cry to give up, cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain, you already hurt, get a reward from it.
The difference between a winner and a loser, the failure's there every single time. It's just the winner gets back up and does it again, until it goes his way.
I don't care how hard you fall. I don't care if nobody don't believe in you. It only takes you believing in yourself to get this thing done. And listen to me, it ain't failure if you learn from it, baby. So if you fall on your back so you can look up, because if you can look up, then you can get up. I dare you to take a little pain. I dare you. At the end of pain is success.
If you can stay in the race, if you can stay in the fight, then you can dictate your own future.
I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you soft.
See, getting what you want is up to you. You can turn your life around if you change your attitude. You change your attitude, you change your altitude.
Your mind and attitude is all you need to be successful. That's all you need. You don't need to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't need money. You don't even need folk that like you. As long as you believe in you, you got the right mindset, you got the right attitude, we can make it happen. I don't care what's going on around you, because it's not what happens around you that determines your success. It's what happens inside you. And you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude and you can control your mindset. And I'm telling you right now, don't give up. I'm telling you right now, don't give in. Get through it. And so God is allowing you to go up the rough side of the mountain, not so he can hurt you or break you. He's trying to redesign me. I'm telling you right now because I care about you. I'm telling you right now because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, you put too much in it to quit now. Oh. It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were gonna get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Hold. Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. You won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. I'm unbreakable now.
You get one shot. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better make the kind of decisions that's gonna take you to the NBA. You better make the right decisions that's gonna take you to the NFL. You better make the right decisions that are gonna land you the next best rapper, the next business tycoon. It's one thing to talk about your destiny, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, saying no to quitting when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your body said don't stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it, you gotta be about it.
People want to find peace immediately. They want the quick hit, the easy solution, but easy come, easy go. You'll find real peace by engaging in a battle with yourself.
Make a personal declaration and wage a war against being average. You have full control over your mind. You're at the steering wheel of your life. You dictate what you become. You just have to get a grip and demand control. The situation you're in right now, it's uncomfortable, it's miserable, it sucks, but it's manageable.
If you neglect to program yourself, life will program you. To start reinventing your life, you must consciously and determinedly make a concentrated effort. You must wholeheartedly commit yourself and put everything you've got in it.
But make no mistake about it, it's very challenging to act, to do those things. Sometimes you know what to do, you know you need to do it, but you just don't feel like it. Your feelings will be kicking and screaming that you should just stop.
Most of us yearn for that special feeling of enthusiasm in the morning, feeling like, oh, I feel great this morning. I can't wait to get started on this project, on this job, on this workout. If you're seeking that feeling, let me tell you one thing, it will never come.
You must learn to act even when you don't feel like it. Tap into that savage mentality within you. Do you think a savage cares about their feelings? No! They simply take action, regardless of how they feel. Learn to be your best self, even when you lack the motivation. Stop relying on a feeling to dictate your life. Discipline your mind to get up and get it done no matter what. When things are going bad, those with a savage mindset don't quit. Their only focus is figuring out how to overcome the situation. Quitting is not an option. They strive to thrive, not just survive. It's a commitment, not a feeling. Commitments have nothing to do with your feelings. You do it because you're supposed to. When you get up in the morning, you don't give yourself a choice. You grind no matter what.
When you're just not feeling it, you gotta force yourself. When everything in you is kicking and screaming, you have to take control and tell yourself, I do not stop.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
Don't allow pain to undermine your belief in your potential. Your body hears everything your mind tells it. Any discomfort you experience in a situation is remembered by your body, but it's merely the messenger.
Invest in today for a better tomorrow. That's exactly what we're doing here, being smart about it. Mindset comes first. If we aimlessly go through the motions without knowing our purpose, we end up being average, forgotten, unnoticed. Put an end to that. You must be more intelligent than the average person. You gotta work hard and you gotta work smart. Life doesn't give you what you want. It reflects who you are. That means showing up every single time on time. Why? Because I strive to be the best. It's a binary choice. Either you are or you're not. Either you excel or you simply won't. You either become what you aspire to be or you don't. It's not influenced by external circumstances, but by internal ones.
So get rid of all the excuses and reasons why you think you can't succeed. They are all lies. Every excuse you've ever made in your life is nonsense. Because there are people out there who have faced worse circumstances than you, encountered greater challenges than you, endured more struggles than you, and yet they still accomplish their goals every single day of their lives.
The quality of your life comes down to your level of self-discipline. You have to challenge yourself. You have to discipline yourself. You have to encourage yourself. That is the only way you can master yourself. You cannot change your life overnight. You have to take it step by step. You have to get up when you don't want to get up. You have to work out when you don't feel like working out. You have to study when you know you need to study. Discipline is a muscle that you build every single day of your life. It's your job to maintain it, to do the hard things, and train harder and harder every day to get better and better and build a life of greatness.
Who are you when no one is watching? Are you the one who's up before everybody else? Are you up at midnight, 1 a.m., grinding, putting in miles, putting in those extra reps, putting in that blood, sweat, and tears, working on your craft? Because it's what we do when no one is watching that separates the best from the rest. When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you'll live the life most people never will. When you look back after working your butt off, you will see that every challenge that was ever put in front of you, all the knockdowns, breakdowns, and every bit of the pain and daily struggles will all be worth it.
The question isn't, can you handle the situation? The question is, can you handle your mind? Can you manage the thoughts and the emotions that are trying to poison your progress? Forget managing the situation. Manage your mind.
Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. I don't have time. I don't have support. I don't have the right equipment. I'm too busy. I'm too tired. I'm too sore. I don't have the energy. I'm just not feeling it. These are all flat out lies. The only thing that's actually stopping you is you.
You mustn't allow your impulses to govern and dictate your reality. You cannot keep repeating the same foolish mistakes over and over and over and call it your life.
If you think your life is bad, it isn't. No, what's bad is your ability to modify, to make alterations, to make corrections. You fix that, you'll fix your life. If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You built every single step to create this. No accidents. Just taking the easy road too many times. Not getting up. Not putting in that extra rep. Not putting in that extra mile. Those are the little inches that add up to be first place or forgotten. But you have the ability to improve, to make a greater effort every single day. You gotta commit to yourself that you're gonna push yourself harder than you ever have, harder than anyone expects of you, harder than you think you can.
Some things won't come instantly to you. You must wear them down through consistent pressure, repeatedly, without stopping. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you were gonna do.
Because most days, you'll wake up and not feel pumped up. Most days, you'll wake up and not have the desire to grind. But when you can reach a point where you do it regardless of how you feel, there is no way you won't achieve your goals. I need you to give 120% and do it for the pride of who you are. Stand up for your dreams. Stand up for what you want in your life. Because life will reflect back what you give it.
What does the successful person do that the average person doesn't? They do everything they're supposed to and a little bit more. They work hard and a little bit more. They earn a little bit more. They save a little bit more. They grind a little bit more. They sweat a little bit more. They do whatever they gotta do and a little bit more. You wanna succeed in this life? You gotta do what you're supposed to and a little bit more. And you can never stop at the finish line.
Many people wish they could do what the greatest people of all time have done, but very few of those people are willing to put the work in to get it. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. I don't care about the circumstances around you, because it's not what occurs around you that determines your success. It's what occurs within you, and you can't control the elements, but you can control your attitude and your mindset. You have an opportunity right now to make the right decisions. Are you making the decisions to lead you to the NBA, to take you to the NFL, to land you that job you always wanted, to pass that test? It's one thing to dream about it, but it's a whole nother thing to wake up when you know you should wake up, to write when you don't feel like writing that paper, to say no to that party, to say no to quitting when you have 100 more shots to make, to force yourself to execute when your body screams that you stop and you still got 50 more push-ups to go. You can't just talk about it. You must execute. Execution is worshipped. Nearly everyone reaches that point. Nearly everyone overcomes those obstacles. Nearly everyone has some momentum. Almost becomes a way of life for almost everyone. But the people who win, they get it done.
They do whatever's required over and over and over for as long as it takes.
Because they're pissed off for greatness. And if you're not pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Mediocre people don't ever do their best. They do the least amount they have to and nothing more. Where the greats do everything they possibly can and keep pushing to find higher levels within themselves. They become unstoppable. To them, every day is a new day to attack without mercy, to put the pressure on, to get aggressive. They realize that practice never makes perfect, but it makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And so all you got to do is look for new breakthroughs through practicing more and more and more, and you'll see yourself getting better and better and better. Yes, you're tired. Yes, your mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But you cannot quit because you realize you have not reached the goal yet. You have come too far to quit in the process. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for your pain.
If you think you're just going to have a dream and a goal, and you're just going to wake up and make it happen, you're dead wrong. Life will beat you down over and over and over.
That dream will always be tested. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you really are.
Life will test you like that? How bad do you really want it? How bad you want it, huh? I'm gonna take your car. You will have creditors calling you every day. How focused can you be? You will have judgments filed against you. You're gonna lose all of the materialistic things you have. You're gonna lose your job. And people who you thought will help you won't be there for you. How positive can you be now? Where is your feeling of being empowered, having the capacity to create now? That's gonna happen to you, man.
I don't care what you're facing right now. You can't let the outside circumstances take control. Hold that vision, that idea, that dream so firmly in your mind that you can feel it, that you can taste it, that you can smell it, and just keep walking toward it, no matter what.
Stand courageously, daringly, become bold. In spite of this, I'm not giving up on my dream.
When you're facing those hard times, you've got to decide to stand up inside yourself. You've got to make it your personal mission to fight back, to go down swinging, to wage war against all the negativity going on around you and going on within you. You got to tell yourself, I can do this. I can handle it. I'm going to get through this. I have what it takes. No petty adversity will stop me.
Some of you need to get tired. Get tired of the way people make fun of you in your dream. Get tired of the effort you're putting in every day. Get tired of feeling defeated all the time. You should be mad about it because you deserve better. You deserve your dream. But don't just cry about it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just think about it. I want you to get up and do something about it. I want you to put your whole self into that thing you want and stop at nothing to reach it. If you're not bold, if you're not standing up inside yourself, if you're not willing to call into being the highest and the strongest that's within you when you're facing life's challenges, life will trample you. It will suck the life out of you. Your life will be miserable if you're not living in alignment with who you are.
See, when you discover the truth of this goodness, this power that you have within you, that truth will set you free. You will never be a victim again. That truth will enable you to handle things with a level of equanimity that will surprise you. You will learn how to overcome the world by not buying into what's in front of you.
Don't feel sorry for yourself and trying to organize a pity party. The sharks are part of the program. Keep on moving. You gotta make up in your mind that I'm better than this. I'm stronger than this. I will survive this. I can live my dream. I can find my purpose in life. I deserve more for myself. This is not gonna be it for my life.
When you get to that point, when you have that type of mentality of not beating yourself up because of your mistakes, and instead start looking at the possibility of you doing better, of you making the adjustments, things begin to change in your favor.
You need to understand that you are rare. Nobody is quite like you. You're in a class all by yourself. If you really knew that, you wouldn't be so insecure. You wouldn't be so intimidated. You wouldn't be so vulnerable. There will never be another you. You got a voice like nobody else. You got a fingerprint like nobody else. You got thoughts like nobody else. You are one of a kind. You gotta believe even when there's no reason to believe. You gotta hold on. You gotta have faith. When everything appears to be going wrong, when you're working on your dreams and people that you love and trust decide to walk out on you, you still gotta believe. When you see those things that you've been working on fall apart in front of your face, you still got to believe. When friends and family who should be a source of strength and encouragement start to tell you you can't do it, you still gotta believe. You might not know how you're gonna do it, but you gotta believe with everything in you that you're gonna make it. You gotta make up in your mind before you even get to the fight. I don't care what it takes. I don't care how much effort I gotta put in. I don't have the money, I don't have the education, but I won't allow that to stop me. I'm gonna do it. I need you to look yourself in the face and declare, this is my life. These are my dreams. I can have whatever I want to have. I can be whatever I want to be. I can go wherever I want to go. And whatever is required to do it is already inside of me.
You've got to listen to yourself. You've got to have a voice inside yourself that is so strong that it speaks louder than all the crap people talk to you.
Because if you just sit there and accept everything that's thrown at you, life will trample you. It'll kick dirt in your face and tell you you're no good.
Don't let this negative world beat you down. Don't let it win. At some point, you gotta start standing up for yourself. At some point, you gotta start fighting back.
Get away from all these people who ain't doing nothing with their lives. These people are toxic. They'll attack you on your journey. They'll actively work against you. These people's opinions of you ain't none of your business. You are the only one who dictates how far you can go. The possibilities for you are unlimited. If it's building a business, starting a career, traveling the world, making a difference in society, you can do whatever you believe you can do.
He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right.
You've got to build your level of self-confidence to a point where when they fight against your ideas, it only adds fuel to your desire to win.
Many doors will be closed in your face. Many loans that you'll want will be denied. Many jobs you apply for, they'll reject you, and most people will give up. But you've got to decide within yourself that I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to be relentless. I refuse to accept failure as my final result. And I'm going to go all out to get it. I'm going to give it everything I possibly have. No obstacle, no challenge, no person is going to keep me from my dream.
Don't allow the opinions of others to shut you down. When they talk, you go hard. When they doubt you, you shut them up with your results. The best revenge in life is massive success. Don't allow anyone or anything to steal your dream. If you dare to be great, if you dare to do something that you've never done before, if you dare to go to limits that you've never been to before, you'll achieve more than you could ever imagine.
And when you're going through bad times, I want you to remember, you're not being buried, you're being planted. You may be underground, but you're not buried in this mess. You're planted in it. And when you're planted in it, you should expect to come back up again. And when you come back up, you'll be completely transformed by the experiences that you've endured.
When you're going through pain, you're not suffering. You're building strength, you're building resilience, you're building perseverance, you're building everything it takes to win.
When you have fear, fear makes you think in a way you shouldn't be thinking and makes you do stuff you shouldn't be doing. But when you have faith, you don't need to know what you're up against. When you have faith, you don't need to know how much it's going to take. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
You concentrate on working on your dream. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity right now with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
You gotta believe within yourself that you are the one. You are the one to make it happen. You are the one to succeed. You are the one who will be living their dream. You gotta feel that you're entitled to this, that you're supposed to have this. This is your calling. This is your time. Now is your moment.
You gotta stand up inside yourself and tell yourself, I can do this. I can handle this. I can overcome anything that comes against me. You're more powerful than you realize. You're stronger than you think you are. You're tougher than you think you are. You can survive more than you think you can. You can go further than you believe you can. You're more capable than you could ever possibly imagine. When you no longer focus on the obstacles, when you no longer care what people think or what people have to say, when you no longer find the need to seek their approval, when you stop counting the cost of what it's going to take to reach your dream, it is done. When the pressure within you is greater than the pressure outside of you.
There's people in here far superior than me, but there's no one in here that's going to work harder than me. We get up at 5:30 in the morning, it's pissing rain outside. Our competition's sleeping. I love that.
I will not be outworked, period. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. The commodity, the majority of people who aren't achieving the things that they want is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities.
You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half-ass their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I'll outwork you and I flat out want it more than you. It's relentlessness, man. It's pushing past barriers. It's every time you get somewhere, it's wanting to go to the next level.
You guys are entitled to what you're entitled to is an opportunity to show up and be your best. Everyone's like, oh, Craig, you're lucky. You got this, Craig, you're lucky. Everything you do is luck. Bullshit. Because before it was luck, it was a belief. And every day with no one watching at 5 in the morning by myself, I trained it because I believed in it. In hopes that one day my trained ability collided with an opportunity to show it off. That's what luck is. That's what success is. Nothing subjective in there. It's all you.
You gotta look at how much you're working. You gotta look at how much effort you're making, the intention you're putting out there.
You gotta cross the line in life. You gotta go where nobody else wants to go. You gotta work the hours nobody else wants the hours.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're gonna dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided I'm going to be a player. I decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. I write these chapters.
You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Only permission you need is from who stares at you back in the mirror every day and a willingness to do the hard work longer, harder, and better than anyone. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy another success program looking for the secret recipe that doesn't exist? Or are you gonna go do something right now and do something that brings you closer to greatness? That's your choice.
You're gonna have more days you don't wanna do something than you are gonna want to.
Most days, you're not gonna be pumped up. Most days, you're gonna feel weak. Most days, you're gonna wanna stay in bed. Most days, you're gonna feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives.
You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. And that feeling, That horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others. Make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired, you'll get worn out, you'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work, and you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling, and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're gonna have to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're gonna build faith, build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark, when nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing. Those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass off. Nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind. And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there. When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into all those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're going to rear naked choke them out, every one of them. That's the mentality you must have and always have.
People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really have got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm going to get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles and go to the gym. You're looking for that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't going to come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic one. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? Then just do it. Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly that machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play that game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
Getting successful, it's not a magic trick. You have a say-so in that. You can decide to be rich, but you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. You have to change this. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're in a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone.
Never let anybody
tell you that you can't.
A lot of time as a leader, a lot of time as a business builder, a lot of time as a craftsperson, we will have an idea for a business or a product where the rest of the world says that's impossible. And we have to be coming from a place from within where our I can is larger than our I can't. You absolutely must do the interior work required when you have these fiery levels of confidence where when the world is saying, you know what, I dismiss your vision. Well, that is impossible. You have to be that lone voice who goes, no, you know what? It is possible. And just watch me do it.
I am not going to allow anything to shake me. I'm not going to allow anything to stop me. I'm not going to allow anything to stop my happiness and my growth. You got to live beyond reality. Even before you do it, see yourself doing it. Even before you accomplish it, see yourself accomplishing it. Your perception is everything, not your circumstances, not your situation. It's how you see it. And if you can learn to see it correctly, if you can learn to just get past the pain, get past the little hurt, and if you can learn to see it properly, I guarantee you can be what you want to be. You can have what you want to have. You can do what you want to do.
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, you're going through death. Real life, you're alone. There's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
Where are the warriors that say, I'm gonna make a decision and I'm keeping it? And regardless of how you feel about it, it doesn't matter if the world is crumbling or down around you. It doesn't matter what's happening. Just do the thing every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Oh, I don't feel so good today. Get your lazy sick out of bed. Your only commitment is to the activity, not to the grand scheme, not to the big picture, not to the implications of what it is that you're doing. It's to do the thing. Habits are the building blocks of our lives. It's what you do every single day that matters more than anything. Devote yourself to something bigger. Be decisive about what you're gonna do. Say, I'm gonna do it and that's it. And then be disciplined about getting it done every single day, whether you feel like it or not.
Greatness will cost you something. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some sacrifice. It's going to cost you some resources. It's going to cost you some hours of your life laying down, paying the price, going the extra mile, doing what other people are not willing to do. Greatness is not cheap. Greatness always costs more. That's why there's not many people who achieve greatness. They're not willing to pay the price.
That's the kind of attitude you need. That's the attitude of a winner, is I will do whatever it takes.
Don't be a wimpy person who's afraid of everything hard.
Do not take the easy way out. You need to train that instinct, your instinct. Train it to say, get up, go, fight on.
Get your brain in shape. Put your brain through the paces. Rid your fat brain of fear, doubt, self-loathing, intimidation. Get rid of it. Don't you let another motherfucker put his or her limitations on you. Nobody can tell you what they can't do but you.
If at the end of the day you want to achieve something that other people have not been able to achieve, you've got to be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. Where other people bend and break, you've got to get stronger. Where other people fall by the wayside, you've got to keep going. You've got to set the bar ridiculously high and then surpass all expectations.
Some of y'all are so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in lifting weights. It is in resting. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music. It's the process that makes you sweet.
You want to get mentally tough? It's a lifestyle. Instead of hitting that snooze button in the fucking morning and not making your bed, not cleaning your house, you don't hit the snooze button. You get up. You don't want to go run, you go run. You don't want to go swim, you go swim. You don't want to make your bed, you make your bed. You don't want to clean your house, you clean your house. You don't want to study, you fucking study. That's how you start to callous your mind. It's going to suck. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow. Embrace the suck. No one's going to fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. The water's too cold. The sun's too hot. I'm getting up too early. Why am I doing this to myself? That's what the normal mind says. I had to start training my mind to think about how the f can I get through this? Not giving myself a way out. Creating a wall around all the f***ing ways out in my mind. So my mind knew Zimmer is not going to give himself a way out of here. My new norm is you get up every fucking morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. That became my new fucking life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, motherfucker, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this ain't hard anymore. You must retrain your mind to think differently in health. When something sucks, good. It's going to make me tougher and it's going to make us stronger. So bring it. And that's when your mind changes. That's when your focus changes. Your dedication changes. Use this time to gain strength, gain focus. Come on, a savage. You gotta start thinking, I'm the grittiest in the world. You don't need you need the ability to grind you into a fine powder. Greatness is not something that you meet once. It's something that you meet thousands of times in your life, and you don't reach it if you're not constantly in constant pursuit of greatness.
Kobe Bryant doesn't sit there and talk about how many MVPs he's won or how many championships he's won. No, he's up at 3 o'clock in the morning practicing every day. Why do you think he is so great? He's not great because he's great. He's great because he puts the work in on a daily basis and he wins every day.
This is the time to work. You gotta take the short time you have and be the best that you can be, because they pay you different when you're the best.
You know who's gonna bail me out? You know who's gonna come and rescue me? You know who's gonna come and save the day? No one. I don't have backup.
Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to tell me to turn the TV off. Nobody's coming to get me out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for me. I gotta do it all myself.
And many of you are not where you're supposed to be. Not because you're not gifted, not because you're not talented. You have absolutely no discipline.
You keep cutting yourself slack. You keep telling yourself you did enough. You keep letting yourself off the hook. It's time you punish you. From now on, you're not gonna hold any other human more accountable than you hold yourself.
It's high time that discipline became your best friend, your daily companion. It's time to face yourself. You're the only one tripping you up. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, no more messing around. You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get real dirty if you wanna make it.
It's these moments where you're tested by life, these decisions we make on a daily basis. Do we get up early and go for a run, or do we hit the snooze button? Do we go that extra rep in the gym when our body's dying and we push past that? Or do we throw in the towel and give in to the pain?
Those inches you need to be number one are around us every single day. It's when you get up that day and do those little tiny things, the little details in life. That's what adds up to be the difference between the champion and average.
You think I don't get tired? Of course I do. But I've got reasons bigger than my fatigue. I'm out here setting the pace, making sure every day counts. Cause I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it for my wife, I'm doing it for my kids. This is my zone, and ain't nothing gonna stand in my way. I'll work every day if I have to.
Whatever it takes.
I need you to think about the people you're doing this for. And when that alarm goes off in the morning, you need the thought of those people you're grinding for to be louder than that alarm clock. So when it goes off and you're just not feeling it, you gotta think, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and grind for those people?
You have got to push yourself. Your family's counting on you. Your dreams are counting on you. Everything you've ever wanted is counting on you.
So all those days you don't feel like getting up, just think about them. You don't get to success by quitting when you're tired. You get there by quitting when you're finished, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done.
Dreams ain't easy. If they were, everyone would have everything they ever wanted. Waking up with zero energy won't cut it. You can't outsmart the grind. Some days, you just gotta have the grit and the hustle to get your up and get to work.
You don't make millions just cause you're talented or skilled. You make millions cause you execute.
You've been taking your sweet ass time, and that shit's gotta stop. You can't afford to move at a snail's pace in a world that's racing by. You're not a bad person for it, but you'll remain in the middle of the pack if you can't pick up the pace.
It's time to kick it into high gear. You dedicate yourself to the daily grind, even when the high of motivation wears off.
Success is always full price every single time. There are no discounts, no markdowns. It's gonna cost you sweat, blood, and tears. So quit looking for the easy way out. There isn't one.
Discipline is about doing what you hate, doing the shit that makes you uncomfortable, that pisses you off, but you grit your teeth and get it done like it's your passion.
It's about embracing the suck, lacing up those boots when you'd rather be kicking them off. It's dragging you out of bed when the blankets feel like a cozy cocoon of comfort, but you rise up anyway because there's work to be done.
That feeling of dread, that resistance, it's a sign that you're on the right track. Because real growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the trenches, in the grind, where every move is a battle.
It's easy to do what you love. It's a whole other ball game to do what you hate with the intensity and drive as if you love it. That's the essence of true discipline. It's not about mood or feelings. It's about commitment. It's about saying, my feelings, I've got a mission, and I'm not leaving until it's done.
You won't always stay motivated. There's gonna be times where you're dragging ass, and all you wanna do is collapse and go eat like crap. You have to learn to get yourself up and moving, and it's the last thing in the world you wanna be doing.
See, that's what separates people. It's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. Between the people who talk a good game and those who play to dominate.
Regret weighs tons, but discipline weighs ounces. It's much easier to look back on a life full of discipline, knowing you made the right choice in the moment, rather than looking back on a life full of excuses, full of regret. Regret that you didn't pay the price for greatness.
Discipline doesn't give a flying about what you feel like doing. It's the relentless, unwavering force that keeps you moving forward when everything else screams for you to stop. It's doing the work, the hard, gritty, soul-testing work. And not just enduring it, but owning it like a boss.
You make it happen. You get it done. Because that's who you are. A person of action, a person of your word. You stay true to what you said you'd do, not for glory, not for applause, but because that is the standard you hold yourself to. Long after the mood has left, you're still there, grinding, pushing, striving, because that's what it takes. That's integrity, that's honor, that's real power. And you have that power within you.
In your life's journey, there will come times that put your spirit to the ultimate test. You'll be tempted to break, to let go, to descend into madness. You'll feel isolated in the hardest of trials.
And what you choose to do in solitude is your only companion. That's where true learning happens. It's in the silent moments, when you're all alone, where your response to life's challenges truly shapes you.
The true measure of your character isn't taken when life is easy and all is going well. but rather at those moments when you're faced with trials and storms, when everything goes dark for you.
The thing is about darkness, though, is most people freak out when things get dark. When they're in the dark and can't see, they start panicking and don't know what to do or where to go.
But what you need to do is be willing to sit patiently in that darkness, assess what's happening, and become used to the challenge of that darkness. If you do that, your eyes will begin to adjust to the dark, and you will see exactly the way you should go to make progress.
You gotta become comfortable with the pain.
Stare it straight in the face. Don't run from it anymore. Stand still and let it run from you.
When things go wrong, when you run out of money, when things don't work out for you, when the people you care about leave you, what keeps you going?
If all you're doing it for is a house or a car, that can stop you. You'll give in so quickly. But when you're doing it because of something within you is burning to do it, when you're doing it for the people you love, when you're doing it for your family, when you're doing it for the pride of who you are, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation can stop you. You cannot be broken anymore.
Strength is easy when untested, but it's when adversity strikes, when you're hit hard by loss, ailment, injustice. It's in these times that your spirit is refined. No matter how rocky the path, it's nothing but a journey to a greater version of yourself. You can't reach new heights without the climb. You can't enjoy the sunshine without enduring the storm.
No one's coming to save you, but you can save yourself. You can pull yourself out of the sewer of life.
Anything you focus your mind on, you have the ability to change. You don't like the way your life is going, you're the only one who can change it. You don't have to be an alcoholic. You don't have to be a failure. You don't have to be anything you don't want to be. If you just decide within yourself to change your mind.
When it feels like everything is working against you, that is your greatest moment to show the whole world what you're capable of doing. This is the time you present your tenacity, your endurance, your strength to the world.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what position you're in. I don't care what it looks like to people. You can come back again. You're not done.
You gotta stand up for yourself. You may be embarrassed, but stand up. You may feel like crying, but stand up. You may feel like it's all over already, but stand up. You may not see a way out of all this mess, but stand up.
The more you fight, the more you keep coming back, the more you'll realize how much energy, how much resourcefulness, how much power you have left in you.
You don't judge your entire life based on your current circumstances. Your current circumstances are temporary. You will not be where you are now for the rest of your life. Things will get better, and you got to keep in the back of your mind at all times, no matter what I go through, I must not give up. Expect me to come back. I don't know how long it'll take, but expect me to come back. I don't know what I'll have to go through, but expect me to come back. I don't know what I'm going to lose along the way, but expect me to come back.
It's the chaos of the time that creates a conqueror in the person. Those exceptional people who are uncomfortable with what's happening to them and rise to the challenge because they refuse to allow the chaos around them to determine the conqueror within them. People who resist the toe to go down and stand fiercely in spite of opposition and say, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Do you not know that where you are will pass? What you're worried about will pass. One day you're gonna look back and laugh at the thing that kept you up all night. One day you'll see that it was not nearly as major as you thought it was.
There's more in you right now than what's represented in your bank account. There's more in you right now that's being reflected by your life right now. Your life at this time isn't a true reflection of your potential.
You are a walking goldmine of talents, abilities, ideas. Do you ever dream of doing something like starting your own business? Mastering a skill? That's the real you knocking on the door of your mind, hinting that there's so much more to dig into. Your life right now might be on one level, but you've got so many more levels of potential stacked up inside you, ready to be unlocked.
You've got to be cautious and careful of the voice going on inside your head. You've got to constantly monitor that internal dialogue. Whenever you feel a negative tone of voice playing in your head, I want you to shut it down and reinforce your brain with positivity.
telling yourself, I got what it takes. Today is my day. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do it. And nothing will stand in my way. I have enough power. I have enough persistence. I have enough perseverance to make it happen.
The things you're saying to yourself determine whether you win or lose. What you say to yourself has all the world to do with how far you can go. Your attitude determines your aptitude. What you feed your mind will either be the fuel for your success or the poison for your failure.
Your attitude isn't just a small player in the game of life. It's the coach, the quarterback, and the crowd that's either cheering you on or booing you down, shaping how high you can climb or how flat you can fall.
If you believe you're a winner, your actions will align to that belief. If you tell yourself you can overcome, your brain starts working overtime to make that a reality. Where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're telling yourself that there is a way through this, you will look for solutions. But if you believe you're doomed, you'll only see roadblocks.
Every time you catch yourself slipping into negativity, shut that down. Replace I can't with I will, I might with I must, I hope with I know. Your words are a self-fulfilling prophecy, so speak victory, speak courage, speak success.
When life hits you, don't back down, buck back. Life's not always gonna go easy on you. It will strip you to your core and test you on every level. The amount of pressure it'll pile on you will try to destroy you. Do not allow that. This is no time to lose your head. This is no time to quit. This is no time to faint. This is no time to collapse. This is no time to give in.
Decide within you that I will get something out of this pain. I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna push through when it gets tough. I'm gonna push through when I get tired. I'm gonna push through when it's not convenient. I'm gonna push through when my heart is broken. I'm gonna push through when I get rejected. I'm gonna push through when I'm broke. No matter what happens to me, I am going to push through it. That means that you might have been kicked, you might have been shoved, and might have been shot, but you're still standing, ready to fight whatever comes at you.
When you start doing anything, the first step, you're excited. You're pumped up. You're gonna be consumed with that thing you're doing. But a week into it, a month into it, a year into it, 5 years into it, many people begin to lose that fire. They get exhausted. They don't care anymore. They stop trying.
So they stop the daily tasks to move toward the goal, and they settle. They settle for, I guess it wasn't meant to be. They settle for, I guess I didn't want to. They settle for the easy road. They settle for mediocrity. They give up, and they let it go. But I'm saying, no, you cannot be like that. You can't allow your dreams and goals to slip by like that. You must stay focused. Don't allow anything to pull you off your game plan.
If you don't finally get your focus in check, if you keep wandering around distracted, if you keep looking at every new thing that pops up in your feed, if you keep trying every single new opportunity, if you keep saying yes to everything, if you keep listening to everybody's complaints, if you keep doing whatever they ask you to do, at some point, you will lose your life.
You must reclaim your attention and limit it down to the very few things you care about the most. Cut off anything else that doesn't support you.
Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it. Write about it. Talk about it. Hang it up on your wall. But most importantly, do something about it every single day. Start working a plan to get where you want to go and minimize everything else. Getting very clear on the mission and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no. You tune out every voice and noise outside of yourself, and you lock your focus on this one thing, and you give it everything you've got.
What is it that you need to immediately stop doing in your life to take back control of your time? Is it social media? Is it watching 7 seasons of a show every week? And what do you need to start doing? What do you need to start doing every day, every week, every month, every year to be the best version of you?
Because whatever you spend your time on is what determines the outcomes of your life.
Disciplining yourself buys you freedom to do what you want. Sacrifice leads and gains follow. Don't bother looking for any gains when you haven't made sacrifices.
You gotta give stuff up in order to go up. So the question is, what are you willing to give up?
Are you willing to skip the parties, cut out the socializing, pass on doing the cool thing on the weekend with your friends?
Because that's what it's gonna take! It's gonna take you dedicating every single moment, every single ounce of energy and effort you have to pull it off! Forget about balance! You have to be obsessed with the thing you want and don't allow anything to pull you away from it.
If you really want to win, pack your calendar, because everything is based off of activity. The more you execute, the more results you will see. You break away from the pack by doing more than other people are willing to.
It's impossible for you to lose if you pack your calendar with tasks to be done every single day of the month, morning till night. You do that year after year after year, and you will undoubtedly become one of the greatest in whatever the you want to do.
A champion focuses only on the goal. They don't allow anything else into their mind that won't help them win. And so if you want to be a winner, what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day has to change. What you're watching, what you're reading, what you're listening to, the conversations you're having. You must now be fully focused on your dreams and your goals.
And it all starts with what you're doing today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, when you're great, you don't just focus on a year. When you're great, you don't just focus on a month. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week. You focus on the 24 hours in front of you, and you work relentlessly to nail it.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do. When you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in, deciding that you're going to focus to develop your skills, you'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the people that you'll be able to attract, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been standing there looking you in the face, say, I can't believe this has been here all this time. When you spend your energy focusing on what other people are doing instead of executing on your own opportunities, you are setting yourself up to fail time and time again. And this goes against what society is, right? Society is all about gossip. It's all about talk. It's all about who's doing what. And it's never about worrying about what you're doing. Go to a fucking bar. What's everybody talk about? What their company's doing, what their boss is doing, what their coworkers are doing, what their aunt's doing, what their mom's doing, what their dad's doing. Nobody fucking cares, and it doesn't fucking matter. That's why you don't see successful people hanging out with people like that. Because they worry about their own shit, they worry about their own actions, they worry about what they execute on, and they worry about how they can get better at it. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes. This is my day. So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. Whatever your hands find to do, execute, execute, execute. You gotta learn to kill the noise. Who cares what they say? Dominance. Who cares what they think? Dominance. You wanna kill haters? You wanna shut them down? You wanna kill noise? Nothing succeeds like success.
No coach, no trainer, no boss can do it. You versus you.
Decide that you're going to push yourself. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
Never, ever allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you worked your ass off to get it. You decided all the clubs, partying, hanging out, popping bottles with models, and all that that ain't for me. I'm gonna be out here running in the hot sun, practicing, playing basketball, shooting on weekends while everybody else is clubbing and hanging out. You got your focus right.
Change the way you see yourself and begin to tend to the personal details. Understand that nobody's going to take care of your business better than you. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potentials.
Stay focused. Don't listen to nobody. What's on your mind, just do it. Because what's destined for you, you're going to get it.
As you begin to develop and expand your skills and your talents and your vision of yourself, you will always be in control of your destiny.
There's no limitations. There's no excuses. Just sweat equity.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're going to do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together. And just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it? Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything. And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's going to give you. If you want to win, you got to show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself. In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that,
It's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Oftentimes in our lives, when we're going through life and things will be going real well, we'll get hit in the face. Life will knock you right between the eyes. It'll come out of nowhere. It'll be stuff you can't anticipate.
You'll find yourself feeling stressed out. You'll find yourself feeling like everything is falling apart around you and within you. And you'll feel like you're being buried alive, buried in pain and tears, and the uncertainty of your future. That experience will break so many people. Most people who go through that experience will back away from their dreams and goals. They stop trying, they stop stretching, and they start shrinking into living a life below what was given to them by the universe. But there's a small number of people who know in their heart of hearts that no matter how much fire I have to endure, no matter how much heat I have to put myself through, no matter the number of beatings I have to take, it will all be worth it.
Because I know for a fact that if I can endure this process, if I can claw my way through this, if I can keep pushing onward and upward through all this I will be left standing at the top of that mountain of success as a warrior, stronger than ever before because of that battle,
Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. Because it's not in falling that makes us failures. It's in not getting up that makes us failures. And you get to decide if you get up or you don't get up. Every horrible situation can either be the greatest moment for change or the worst moment that ruins everything. And the question is, will you let this failure make you or break you? You get to decide. Your hardship doesn't.
And you got to decide that you're going to be so relentless that you'll constantly look for ways to get through it. You'll constantly keep moving. You'll constantly keep getting better so that you are never stuck in one place for the rest of your life. You're going to find a way or make a way, and you'll stop at nothing to get it.
You've got to declare war against that trial, against that tribulation. And you got to say, no matter how many no's I have to face, no matter how much pain I got to put myself through, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I will not quit. I will turn every single tragedy in my life into a victory. People won't even recognize me from all the improvements I'm about to make to myself and my mentality because of these hard times. I'm gonna come out of this whole thing as a diamond because of all the pressure I've fought my way through.
The moments that take your breath away are the ones that count. You need the downs to create the ups. You need the ups to create the downs. You need to feel the opposites to truly understand the full reality of the life you are living. I don't care if you've been beaten to the floor, if your legs are too tired to lift that weight. Break through that barrier and create new ones for you. Get back up and live life, because every second spent not doing so is time wasted, time that you will never get back.
You gotta talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potentials. When you feel that inner negative conversation saying you can't do it, when life keeps hitting you down to the ground and you got tears in your eyes, all I want you to do every day is just say to yourself, it is possible. If other people have done it, then I can do it too. This pain won't control me. I'm gonna harness it and turn it into something better.
And when it feels like that thing is telling you to quit, you look at it directly and say, I'm not going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me.
You've been through so much hell. Why would you even consider quitting now? You cannot quit now. You cannot quit now. You're so close to victory. You just gotta hold out a little longer. Go a little further. Try a little bit more.
And when you're talking about success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it is about stamina. It's about you declaring to yourself in the world, I will not be broken. You cannot take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. It's too late for giving up now. You should have broke me a long time ago, because I am unbreakable now.
What is it that will make it worth it for you? To face the rejections, to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this. What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me? What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it for you when you want to give up and things are working against you? What is it that will help you get back up again?
Most people's dreams can be bought. With enough failure, with enough rejection, they will sell their dreams. They can't still fight. They can get a little bit, but when it gets a little too hot, they go, boom, sold, buy the dream, you can have it. It's not worth it to me. And their will to win is buyable. You can buy it, but if you decide my will cannot be bought, I don't care how long it takes, you can't buy this dude out. I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm gonna change my family tree forever. That's the decision. Decide now. You gonna keep negotiating the price, or can you not be bought? Don't give up on yourself.
Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1 yard line. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Working on yourself, talking to yourself, that's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up! I'm in control here.
You've got to have an uplifted expression. Watch your body posture. All of these things affect you psychically. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it. I don't want to be that person that's great when everything is going on good, but when something goes wrong, they flee and they want nothing to do with it. I want to be that person that's going to show up rain, sleet, or snow, and they're going to give you everything they got. You got to take my life before you take my drive. I'm talking concrete commitment. I'm talking a commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because character is not something we inherit. Character is something we got to wake up every single day. We got to fight it. We got to build it. In the midst of adversity, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of failures, we got to get up every single day. We got to fight for peace. We got to fight for happiness. We got to fight for joy.
Focus on how your life will be better and what your life will look like when you get what you want. You do this, and your brain will think that by helping you get what you want, you're moving away from pain and towards pleasure. Greatness isn't achieved by that one massive thing you do. It's those tiny little consistent baby steps we take every single day that add up to achieving that goal. Amazing things happen when you believe you have something. Your brain actively goes out to make it happen. Believe that you can do it and work hard to get it, and it's yours.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're gonna play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different. You walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
It's easy to conquer when it's good weather. You got good sleep, work's going good, the family's good, you feel great, your body's not injured. Those are the easy days to conquer. But who are you on those days when all hell's broke loose? You're sore, you're depressed, you're miserable. Who are you on those days?
Of course, you don't feel like doing it. It's hard, whatever it is. And you rationalize and you justify and you make excuses like a high-priced defense attorney trying to win the case for weakness. And boy, I'll tell you what, that lawyer in your head is good. That lawyer knows just what to say. That lawyer knows all the legal loopholes and definitely knows how to sway the jury. So how do you compete with that? Don't play the game. Don't argue, don't discuss, don't negotiate. You tell that snake of a lawyer that's in your head to shut up. Tell him you don't want to hear it. Tell him you don't need to hear it because you are not the guilty party. You are in the right. You are on the side of strength and stability, and you don't need approval from this lazy lawyer to go and do what you're supposed to do.
That's the great divide. Those people who get up on those days when everything's still grind, that's the separator right there.
You don't negotiate with the weakness in your head. You get your ass up, you get moving, and you get after it, no matter how you feel.
What if for 10 years you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do? What would your life be like? What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? Who knows how much more efficient you'd be? You could be 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient a human being can become when they just stop wasting all the possibilities that are in front of them.
But it takes you dealing with what you really don't want to do and doing them to the best of your ability every single time. You force yourself to execute when you know it needs to be done, setting aside your feelings about the action.
Only weak in life go after things and attempt things they already know they can achieve. You've got to do something you're not quite sure of. Try something new if you want to switch it up. That's where growth comes, man. That's when your body's forced to adapt, forced to suffer the discipline today, so you never suffer the form of regret tomorrow.
That thing that you have to do that you know sucks. Well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. Don't let that happen. Go on the attack, go get it done.
There's no room for half-assed attempts. It's a full throttle, no bullshit kind of deal. The kind where you look adversity in the eyes and say, bring it on.
You see, greatness doesn't come to those who cower in the face of challenge. It's the prize for the relentless, the unstoppable.
You force yourself to suffer the pain of discipline so you never suffer the pain of regret. Because that pain of discipline will last for minutes, but that pain of regret will last a lifetime. Do not allow that to happen. Do what's hard now and live an easy life in the future, investing in today for a better tomorrow.
Look in the mirror and declare on the part of you that's holding you back. No more excuses, no more procrastination, no more self-sabotage. That ends today.
You get pissed off when others let you down, but what about when you let yourself down? You give yourself a free pass. You're not where you should be financially, physically, mentally, and you just let it slide. F that. It's time to hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you gotta tell yourself, no more TV, no more bullshit snacks, no more desserts. It's time to work out your body and your mind. Cut out the crap that's numbing you. Alcohol, not now. You can't handle distractions right now. You owe yourself more than that.
I challenge you for the rest of this year to push yourself like never before. Dive all in.
Every second, every minute, every day, become consumed by that vision and let nothing pull you away from it.
Stop pretending you can have your way to greatness. Dedicate every breath, every ounce of energy, every thought to becoming what you want to be. Nothing great comes from comfort. Everything worth having comes from the uncomfortable, the struggle, the grind.
Night or day, it doesn't matter. What matters is your dedication. While your buddies are out there wasting their lives, you should be building yours. Success doesn't care about weekends or holidays, and neither should you. You work until you get what you want, and you don't stop until then.
Pain is temporary, but quitting, that's forever. You think champions have it easy? No, they fight, claw, and scream their way to the top. Every scar, every wound is a testament to their battle. Be that warrior. Be that never backs down. So ask yourself, are you going to be a footnote or a legend? Will you let life happen to you, or will you happen to life? The clock's ticking and time waits for no one. Seize this moment, this day, this opportunity.
If you want it bad enough, you find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you find an excuse. The person that finishes the race with their hand held isn't about how big they are, how tough they are, the potential. It's their perseverance. It's not about the dog that's in the fight. It's the fight within the dog. Well, yeah, it's a shit situation. I gotta go to work because I gotta pay the bills and support my family. But you know, it doesn't mean I have to shortcut my success in what I'm doing. I'll find a way to work this out. Even if you fail, you get back up and you continue to try and fail, continue to try and fail, and ensuring you never fail to try.
Telling yourself that you don't need to go harder, or you don't need to do more in your job, or be more disciplined in the way that you live. If you tell yourself those things, that's actually a lie. Because you know you can do more. You know you can be more. And that's the truth. That's the truth, and it eats you up. When you get content, when you settle, somebody's chasing you, somebody's coming from behind, and somebody's trying to take your spot. And so every single day when you wake up, you gotta set new goals, new benchmarks. You gotta raise it higher and higher and higher so you can make your dreams become a reality. No complacency. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever. Fight.
If you're a student in school, try harder, study harder, and focus more. You got this! That athlete that's out there, and you're not training how you're supposed to. Go 10, 15 minutes harder. 5, 10 more reps. You have to work when no one's watching. You have to train like there is no tomorrow. Day after day after day. You can improve just a little bit every day. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be at. You think I won't make it? Try me. I will stand up to any task, any day, anywhere. I've been a failure before. Now it's time for me to succeed. I've been without, and I'm hungry for success.
Am I satisfied? Not by a long shot. And I will not go quietly until the night. I will go kicking and screaming. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity I have to reprove myself again. Because the day you become convinced is the day you die. Is the day the person who's trying to catch you will get you. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. They don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. It's just some stuff that you gotta have stamina for. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you don't forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up. No alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. My ability to be, do, and act whatever I want, it wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? You got to begin with the end in mind. So whatever your dream or your goal is, you got to wake up every day to it. You got to go to bed with it. You got to read stuff. The music you listen to, everything you do, got to pour into that dream. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up and get to where you're supposed to be. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. You gotta, every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. My son's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta pick your grind up. And I need you to wake up every single day, and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before.
You're gonna have more days you don't want to do something than you are gonna want to.
Most days, you're not gonna be pumped up. Most days, you're gonna feel weak. Most days, you're gonna wanna stay in bed. Most days, you're gonna feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives.
You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're gonna feel weak. And that feeling, that horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others: make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired, you'll get worn out, you'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work, and you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy. of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling, and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're gonna have to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're gonna build faith, build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark when nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing. Those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass. Nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind.
And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there.
When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into on those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're going to rear naked choke them out, every one of them. That's the mentality you must have, and always have.
People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind.
We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm gonna get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles in or go to the gym. You're looking for that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't gonna come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic one. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? Then just do it. Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly own that machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play that game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life. Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you're alone. There's 24 hours in a day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
Where are the warriors that say, I'm gonna make a decision and I'm keeping it? And regardless of how you feel about it, it doesn't matter if the world is crumbling or down around you. It doesn't matter what's happening. Just do the thing every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Oh, I don't feel so good today. Get your lazy sick out of bed. Your only commitment is to the activity, not to the grand scheme, not to the big picture, not to the implications of what it is that you're doing. It's to do the thing. Habits are the building blocks of our lives. It's what you do every single day that matters more than anything. Devote yourself to something bigger. Be decisive about what you're going to do. Say, I'm going to do it, and that's it. And then be disciplined about getting it done every single day, whether you feel like it or not.
Greatness will cost you something. It's going to cost you some time. It's going to cost you some energy. It's going to cost you some sacrifice. It's going to cost you some resources. It's going to cost you some hours of your life laying down, paying the price, going the extra mile, doing what other people are not willing to do. Greatness is not cheap. Greatness always costs more. That's why there's not many people who achieve greatness. They're not willing to pay the price.
That's the kind of attitude you need. That's the attitude of a winner, is I will do whatever it takes.
Don't be a wimpy person who's afraid of everything hard.
Do not take the easy way out. You need to train that instinct. Your instinct. Train it to say, get up, go, fight on.
Get your brain in shape. Put your brain through the paces. Rid your fat brain of fear, doubt, self-loathing, intimidation. Get rid of it. Don't you let another motherfucker put his or her limitations on you. Nobody can tell you what they can't do but you.
If at the end of the day you want to achieve something that other people have not been able to achieve, you've got to be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. Where other people bend and break, you've got to get stronger. Where other people fall by the wayside, you've got to keep going. You've got to set the bar ridiculously high and then surpass all expectations.
Effort is 100% in the mind. No coach, no player, nobody else can make you run to the ball. Nobody else can make you finish a tackle. Nobody else can do it. That's why it's the most isolated things in this earth right now. It's effort. Because that's all about you. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen. But effort, nobody can judge effort. Because effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
You gotta be the hardest workers in the room.
The masters make the hardest things in the world look easiest. And in the moments where you push yourself, when no one else is around, those moments have a tendency to lead to success.
And not only that, but in what world do we not work every day? You gotta work every fucking day. It doesn't end.
It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived.
Damn, man, how many movies are you gonna make, or how much shit are you gonna do? Like, you do a lot of shit. I say yes. It's my ambition. Of course, why not? I love what I do.
When people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm in the right fucking spot of obsession and drive.
That's the difference of when you say, I want to be something, and I don't have no choice. When I want to be something, then you're going to present a lot of broken dreams. When you are destined to do something, the conversation is totally different. Because it's a lifestyle.
At some point, you gotta be fucking tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta fucking play angry. And I play angry.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre. One day I made a decision that enough is enough. I'm tired of being average. I'm tired of being good. I'm tired. I want to move to the nicest neighborhood. I want to fly first class. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime.
I wake up every morning at 3 o'clock. Why? Because you just got to get there before the genius get there.
They ain't waking up to 8. So if you get up at 3, you ain't got to be smarter than them. You just got to be quicker than them. You just got to be faster than them. You just got to get to the spot before they get to the spots. You ain't gotta be them. You ain't gotta be on their level. You don't have to be as smart. You don't have to become them. You can stay you, but you gotta get there before they get there if you're gonna stay you.
You have to get this concept of going all in. You have to get this beast mode.
I wanna position myself for greatness. I don't know everything. I have not accomplished everything. I'm not where I want to be. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to get better. You've got to position yourself and stop pouting. Stop looking at what other people are getting and look at what they're doing. And if you start doing it, you start getting it. You don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life what you earn. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every day I feel like driving in a nice car. Every day I feel like flying first class. Every single day of my life I feel like giving 120. Every single day. I don't have days where I don't feel like it. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. When you want it that bad, when you wake up early in the morning, when everything else is secondary to you, you're going to be successful. But until you do that, you'll never have it. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
I'm speaking to the people who want more. The people who want to be the fucking pinnacle. The people who want to be accomplished. The people who want to make a fucking difference. You guys are going to have to go all the fuck in.
Make a 100% commitment to give the best effort you've ever given to outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast like never before.
You can't be motivated anymore. You don't need others to motivate you. You have to be self-motivated.
You can't listen to your mom. You can't listen to your dad. You can't listen to your friends. You can't listen to the fucking internet. You can't stick your fucking toe in the pool and say, oh, I don't know, this kind of feels weird. No, you have to dedicate every fucking breath, every fucking ounce of energy, and every fucking thought and effort that you possibly have in your heart to becoming what it is you want to be.
If you really want to make an impact, you're going to get a lot of judgment. You're going to get a lot of hate. People are going to just diss on you. People are going to say, who do you think you are? If no one thinks you're crazy, you're not yet operating to the outer limits of your potential.
I actually appreciate my haters. My haters keep me grinding. I tell them all the time, if you want to pay attention to success, watch me. A lion never negotiates with a hyena. He ain't waking up in the morning and saying, I'm gonna go hang out with some hyenas. He ain't going to the same clubs where he know the hyenas don't like him anyway, cause he don't concern himself with the conversations of hyenas. An eagle flies at a certain altitude, and the only other bird flies at that altitude is another eagle. So if he find himself flocking with pigeons, he may be flying too low. See, sometimes we asking ourselves, why my friends treating me like this? You hanging out with pigeons. Why they talking about me like this? Man, you hanging out with pigeons. The eagles ain't got time to gossip. Kings don't gossip. Fools party, kings celebrate. You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be.
You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied.
Your ability to go all in, and when I say all in, I mean all the in. Every moment, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every fucking year, for as long as it fucking takes for you to get where you're going. You should be consumed with that path.
If you want to show me you want to win that bad, pack your calendar. You pack your calendar, that's how you show the world that you want to win, because everything is based off of activity.
It's very hard when you go up against somebody that shows up every flipping day where you sit there and say, take a damn week off, go on vacation. Why don't you slow down for a day or a month or 2 months or 3 months? Please, let me catch up. Because hungry people, they're just more urgent than everybody else. If I need to learn a skill set today, I'm gonna go buy the course today. I'm gonna get better at it today. Not tomorrow, not this afternoon, not later on tonight, today.
What you do at night matters. What you do in the morning matters. What you do when your friends are out drinking matters. What you do on Saturday matters. What you do on Sunday matters. The success clock doesn't give a what day it is. It's gonna run no matter what. And you guys pretend like you can work 7, 8, 10 hours a day and then spend the rest of your time off, and you think you're gonna be somewhere, and you're not. And you're surrounded by people who enable this thought process. Your good friends, your family, people who have accepted mediocrity as a life. Oh, you don't need to work on weekends. Why do you work so hard at night? Why do you get up so early and do that? Why do you train so hard? Why are you reading all these books when we're out drinking beer?
When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why can't you be satisfied? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? Why do you spend so much time here? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts.
Anybody ever tell you, hey look, just be satisfied with what you got? No! Don't believe him. Get him away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got. You should double your business. Triple it. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
Easy never pays well. So if you're thinking that it's just gonna be a walk in the park, you're dead fucking wrong. You have to give it every fucking bit of effort and energy you have to pull it off. And you have to work harder than everyone else. Work while they sleep, learn while they party, save while they spend, and live like they dream.
You're gonna have so many people tell you, you don't have what it takes. How are you, of all people, gonna do that? You're being unrealistic. You're not gonna make it. Don't believe a word they say. You're gonna have to block out the noise of everyone around you and focus on yourself.
you go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. In life, it's not the genetic guy who wins, or the guy with the most potential that wins. It's a person with the greatest perseverance that wins. Always willing to get up and go at it again and go at it again. That's the guy who has his hand raised later in life, guys. That's the guy you guys need to be.
Every true leader, they're called weird, they're called eccentric. When you do the things of real leadership, you're going to be called strange. Get strong enough in your own skin that when people laugh at you or when they throw stones at you, you keep on going.
What are you going to do now? How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, Roger that, now I'm going to harness this shit, and you'll read about me years from now?
Everybody who wronged you in the past, they gonna have to feel you. They gonna have to see you. Don't get even. Don't worry about getting even when you already beat the odds.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. I just kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you.
We all get knocked out. I've had my haters. I've had people who've come against me, who try to sabotage me. I'm like the lion. I'm not the gazelle. I don't need something external to motivate me. I find something within. Life gonna whip your butt. Life is gonna bully you. Stop whining. Stop crying. Nobody cares. Be demanding. Let it hit you, but don't let it punk you.
You aren't given any breaks in life. You make them for yourself. We are all being tested in life. And how you face that test determines the rest of your life.
There's a lot of times where I don't know how I'm going to move forward, but I ask myself one question: can you take another step? And that answer is always yes. Those circumstances will make us fucking stronger. And those fucking demons are coming at you and they're attacking you. If you feel you can't handle them, you have to invent someone that can. We all have the ability to transform ourselves to bring more out.
Regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, run at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing: I was grinding.
It happens in solitude, where I try, and I try, and I try again, with everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday, better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be, because I will not stop.
I want what all other men want, but when the pressure hits, when the opposition hits, when the challenge hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I just wanted a little bit more than they wanted. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumber. We live by this and we die by this. We don't run. We don't retreat.
You know how hard I worked to get here? And you think I'm about to get us up? Have you lost your mind? I put in too many hours. I sweat too much blood, too much tears. I worked hard to get here. Didn't nobody give me this. I didn't grow up with wealth. Didn't nobody pay me. I worked for this. Sweat, blood, tears. I earn every dime I get. I work for this. I put in time.
To be anxious is to have anxiety about something that hadn't even happened yet. Some of you are so worried about the threat of trouble. You're not in trouble, it's just that trouble has threatened you. And the threat of what might happen, what could happen, is wearing you down. Half of the things that you thought were going to happen never did happen. But if you allow those thoughts to dwell in your mind, it will succeed at robbing you of your peace, robbing you of your joy, robbing you of your life, just because you thought yourself into a nervous breakdown. You thought yourself into depression. You thought yourself into defeatism. This is no time to lose your head. This is no time to quit. This is no time to faint. This is no time to collapse. This is no time to give in. You may look bad for a little while, but stand. No devil in hell can destroy you. If you keep in the back of your mind, I'm coming out of this. I'm coming out of it. Bit by bit, pull
pull by pull, tug by tug, I am coming out of it. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what I'm going to have to go through. I don't know what I'm going to lose along the way, but I still believe that I'm coming out. I've been thrown out and busted and disgusted, but I still believe that I'm coming out. You gotta learn how not to give up or how not to give in. You gotta try, you got to, but whatever you do, you cannot give up. You cannot give in.
You're the only person that can stop you, so stop talking like a victim. Stop thinking like a victim. Stop acting like a victim. And walk into your destiny. Walk into it.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're gonna be attacked, betrayed, exposed, and humiliated. Life is going to break you, and it's going to see how bad you really want it. That's the moment when you are truly alone. And what will you do then? Can you summon the will to fight on through all the pain and rise again? Who are you? That will be the defining question of your life. And I think you already know the answer. Because your pain is your power. You suffer, so you can be much stronger.
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction. Once you understand that and quit looking at your imagination as hocus pocus, it opens up a wide range of things and possibilities. And if you're bold enough, if you're strong enough, if you can handle the pain, you can make it happen. You just can't quit in the middle of the journey.
In every project, there's escape hatches. And if you don't bolt them closed when the going gets tough, boom, away you go. When you make up your mind to do something, quitting should never be an option. If you're going to quit when you're at your peak, when you're very, very successful. But don't quit because you're tired of paying the price. If you pay the price, the reward is going to be that much sweeter.
I can accept failure. Everyone fails at some point, but I cannot accept not trying. When you've tried your best, when you've given 120%, you should never feel bad. You pick yourself up, you look at it from another perspective, you come up with another solution, and you go at it again. You're a problem solver. You're not soft. You're not weak. You don't quit. You don't surrender. You fall 7 times, you get up 8. You chase after that thing you believe you deserve until you get it, and you let nothing stand in your way. You can't ever feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. You're not whack. You're a warrior. You won't always win, but you gotta always try.
Absolutely refuse to quit when you know what you're doing, what you're studying, the price you're paying is going to pay enormous dividends in the long run.
You gotta learn to see the good in everything that could be negative. And sometimes tragedies strike not to hurt you, but to elevate you in a way. If the tragedy never happened, you would never be elevated.
So you gotta say to yourself, I will learn to see the good in everything bad that happens in my life. These challenges, these tribulations, these things will make me stronger.
With every decision comes a result. With every decision there comes an outcome. And so in order for you to make your dreams and goals become a reality, you gotta be a great decision maker.
It's one thing to talk about your dreams, but it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to try again when you failed for the 100th time, to say no to quitting when your body is screaming that you stop. Those decisions, they are the path to your dream.
There will be nobody in this world that will stop you from becoming what you want to become except you.
If you walk out of this room today, you want you to make good decisions. Because when you make bad decisions, you destroy you. You're killing you. You're destroying you. And I told you that if you make good decisions, you reap the benefits of it.
Many of us feel like right now there's a mountain in front of you that seems immovable. But I'm telling you, the power of good choices, the power of hard work,
tenacity, refusing to quit, refusing to say I can't and I give up and I quit, but beginning to say and to really believe I can, I must, I will, I refuse, I won't be defeated. Nothing in front of me is going to stop because I can control me. I can control the controllable, and that's how hard I work. That's my desire to refuse to quit no matter what. I will not give up until I achieve my dream.
There's people in here far superior than me. But there's no one in here that's gonna work harder than me. We get up at 5:30 in the morning, it's pissing rain outside. Our competition's sleeping. I love that.
I will not be outworked, period.
Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
The commodity, the majority of people who aren't achieving the things that they want is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities.
You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half-ass their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I'll outwork you and I flat out want it more than you. It's relentlessness, man. It's pushing past barriers. It's every time you get somewhere, it's wanting to go to the next level.
You guys are entitled to what you're entitled to is an opportunity to show up and be your best. Everyone's like, oh, Craig, you're lucky. You got this, Craig. You're lucky. Everything you do is luck. Bullshit. Because before it was luck. It was a belief. And every day with no one watching at 5 in the morning by myself, I trained it because I believed in it. In hopes that one day my trained ability collided with an opportunity to show it off. That's what luck is. That's what success is. Nothing subjective in there. It's all you.
You gotta look at how much you're working. You gotta look at how much effort you're making, the intention you're putting out there.
You gotta cross the line in life. You gotta go where nobody else wants to go. You gotta work the hours nobody else wants the hours.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're gonna dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided I'm going to be a player. I decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. I write these chapters.
You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Only permission you need is from who stares at you back in the mirror every day and a willingness to do the hard work longer, harder, and better than anyone. So what are you going to do? Are you going to buy another success program looking for the secret recipe that doesn't exist? Or are you going to go do something right now and do something that brings you closer to greatness? That's your choice.
You know who's going to bail me out? You know who's going to come and rescue me? You know who's going to come and save the day? No one. I don't have backup.
Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to tell me to turn the TV off. Nobody's coming to get me out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for me. I gotta do it all myself.
And many of you are not where you're supposed to be. Not because you're not gifted, not because you're not talented. You have absolutely no discipline.
You keep cutting yourself slack. You keep telling yourself you did enough. You keep letting yourself off the hook. It's time you punish you. From now on, you're not gonna hold any other human more accountable than you hold yourself.
It's high time that discipline became your best friend, your daily companion. It's time to face yourself. You're the only one tripping you up. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, no more messing around. You gotta get real doggish. You gotta get real dirty if you wanna make it.
It's these moments where you're tested by life, these decisions we make on a daily basis. Do we get up early and go for a run? Or do we hit the snooze button? Do we go that extra rep in the gym when our body's dying and we push past that? Or do we throw in the towel and give in to the pain?
Those inches you need to be number one are around us every single day. It's when you get up that day and do those little tiny things, the little details in life. That's what adds up to be the difference between the champion and average.
You think I don't get tired? Of course I do. But I've got reasons bigger than my fatigue. I'm out here setting the pace, making sure every day counts. Cause I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it for my wife, I'm doing it for my kids. This is my zone, and ain't nothing gonna stand in my way. I'll work every day if I have to, whatever it takes.
I need you to think about the people you're doing this for. And when that alarm goes off in the morning, you need the thought of those people you're grinding for to be louder than that alarm clock. So when it goes off and you're just not feeling it, you gotta think, do I hit the snooze button or do I get up and grind for those people?
You have got to push yourself. Your family's counting on you. Your dreams are counting on you. Everything you've ever wanted is counting on you.
So all those days you don't feel like getting up, just think about them. You don't get to success by quitting when you're tired. You get there by quitting when you're finished, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done.
Dreams ain't easy. If they were, everyone would have everything they ever wanted. Waking up with zero energy won't cut it. You can't outsmart the grind. Some days, you just gotta have the grit and the hustle to get your up and get to work.
You don't make millions just cause you're talented or skilled. You make millions cause you execute.
You've been taking your sweet ass time, and that shit's gotta stop. You can't afford to move at a snail's pace in a world that's racing by. You're not a bad person for it, but you'll remain in the middle of the pack if you can't pick up the pace.
It's time to kick it into high gear. You dedicate yourself to the daily grind, even when the high of motivation wears off.
Success is always full price every single time. There are no discounts, no markdowns. It's gonna cost you sweat, blood, and tears. So quit looking for the easy way out. There isn't one.
Discipline is about doing what you hate, doing the shit that makes you uncomfortable, that pisses you off, but you grit your teeth and get it done like it's your passion.
It's about embracing the suck, lacing up those boots when you'd rather be kicking them off. It's dragging you out of bed when the blankets feel like a cozy cocoon of comfort, but you rise up anyway because there's work to be done.
That feeling of dread, that resistance, it's a sign that you're on the right track. Because real growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the trenches, in the grind, where every move is a battle.
It's easy to do what you love. It's a whole other ball game to do what you hate with the intensity and drive as if you love it. That's the essence of true discipline. It's not about mood or feelings. It's about commitment. It's about saying, my feelings, I've got a mission, and I'm not leaving until it's done.
You won't always stay motivated. There's gonna be times where you're dragging ass, and all you wanna do is collapse and go eat like crap. You have to learn to get yourself up and moving when it's the last thing in the world you wanna be doing.
See, that's what separates people. It's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. Between the people who talk a good game and those who play to dominate.
Regret weighs tons, but discipline weighs ounces. It's much easier to look back on a life full of discipline, knowing you made the right choice in the moment, rather than looking back on a life full of excuses, full of regrets. Regret that you didn't pay the price for greatness.
Discipline doesn't give a flying about what you feel like doing.
It's the relentless, unwavering force that keeps you moving forward when everything else screams for you to stop. It's doing the work, the hard, gritty, soul-testing work. And not just enduring it, but owning it like a boss.
You make it happen. You get it done. Because that's who you are. A person of action, a person of your word. You stay true to what you said you'd do, not for glory, not for applause, but because that is the standard you hold yourself to. Long after the mood
road has left, you're still there, grinding, pushing, striving, because that's what it takes. That's integrity, that's honor, that's real power. And you have that power within you.
Most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is throw some issues and challenges their way, and they give up. They throw in the towel. They surrender.
See, those people don't realize that it goes with the territory. That when you want to grow, when you want to achieve, when you want to experience more, all hell will break loose. Everything that can happen will happen.
It's one thing to believe when you've got money in your pocket. It's one thing to believe when your marriage is working out and you've got your health. It's easy to believe then. But it's another thing when you get that diagnosis that says you're not going to be around much longer. When you lose your job, when someone you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life says, no, we can't do this anymore. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you got to find something within you that won't be denied.
There is something about you. There is a power within you that regardless of what happens to you, you can stand up inside of yourself and declare, I am going to do it.
You got to get to the point in your life where you say, I have had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. No, there's got to be more for me. You got to draw the line. You got to say enough is enough, and I'm not going to let anything stop me.
Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You're not a victim. You are powerful. In the chaos is an opportunity. If you can learn to harness the pain you're going through, you can rise to the challenge and refuse to allow the chaos around you to determine the conqueror within you.
Resisting the toe to go down and standing fiercely in spite of the opposition and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, but you don't know what's happened to me. It doesn't matter what has happened to you. The only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it?
I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay, I'm going to make it happen. You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up. You have the power to do that.
Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want because you expect to get it.
Courageously hold on to your dream and don't lose enthusiasm. You gotta be out of your mind to believe. In spite of these numbers, you can still make it. You gotta be crazy. Yes, you must be crazy. The crazy people are the only ones who change the world and do the impossible. You gotta believe in your heart of hearts that in spite of the pain you're feeling, you can still come back again. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. I'm gonna courageously pursue it. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. This is something that I want that gives my life meaning and value.
You've got to learn how not to give up and how not to give in. And you got to understand that greatness is within you and you got to pull it out. When life's putting the pressure on you, you have to learn to bolt every escape hatch closed in your mind and don't allow yourself a way out. You gotta find a way or make a way.
It's okay to cry, it's okay to go home, it's okay to take a break, but quitting should never be an option. The weakness is in your mind, out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream.
The war takes place in your own head. It's not in your savings account. It's not in your job. The fight that you've got to fight is in your mind. And if you can get it out of your head, you can get it out of your job. You can get it out of your finances. You can get all the self-pitying and victimizing thoughts out of your entire life.
If you don't like where you're at, don't worry about it. This is just a chapter. Don't like how you feel right now? It's okay. It's just a chapter.
Why are you up all night, stressed, worried, and weeping over one chapter in your life?
This isn't the end of your story. The last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. You still have more to go. You can still turn things around.
And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday or the day before. What matters is, what are you doing right now to make your life better? What steps are you taking right now
to improve yourself and your situation. We can't control what has happened, but we can control what we do now. You have full control over yourself and your ability to work on yourself and get better at whatever you're doing.
The difficulties you're facing right now aren't there to stop you from living your dream. They're there to push you onto another level. They will help make you into the person you want to be. Don't run away from the hardship like most people do. Step toward it, face it head on, and be willing to wrestle with it to get what you want.
This world is always going to give you scars, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Many people try to hide their scars. No, you should wear those scars as a badge of honor. They show what you've overcame, what you've faced and beaten, because only the toughest people make it through to the other side where success is. And you are tough. You are cut from a different cloth.
And you got to see yourself capable and worthy of living a life of greatness, a life of peace. Say to yourself, I'm going to do it. I'm coming out of this. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know what I'm going to have to go through. I don't know what I'm going to lose along the way. But I am going to make it through this.
I've been broke, busted, and disgusted, but I still believe that I am coming out of this mess. No matter what it takes, I'm going to do it.
What is the common denominator of failure? Why are you failing? You never say because of me. Oh, it's the competition. If you wake up tomorrow morning and blame your failure on someone or something else, you have no reason to change, do you? But if you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror and said, I am failing because of me, the decisions that I make, the energy I put in, I'm not passing the blame. If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Take ownership. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're gonna play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different, you walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
Have you ever had a moment where it feels like everything's going against you? It feels like the weight of the world has fallen on your shoulders. You're thinking about quitting. You're thinking about giving up.
It's hard. It's hard living your dream. It's hard changing your life. Once you've been knocked out by life, it's hard to pull yourself together and go back again.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go.
You got to know why you're out here, because you're going to get kicked by life. When the storms of life come, and they're going to come, when life pounces on you, and that's going to happen. When it catches you on the blind side and drops you to your knees, and that's going to happen. When your plans don't work out, when you start running out of money, when you want to give up, your reasons will be your source of strength that will comfort you. Your reasons are the things that will help you get back up and try once again.
That moment of extreme adversity is the best moment for audacity. It's the moment where you can flip everything and turn every trial you have right now into treasure.
Sometimes you need to step back, meditate, and recharge. Sometimes you gotta go away for a little while. Clear your head. View your situation from a different angle and try another approach.
Don't ever claim that you're a failure. You're only ever a failure when you stop trying. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. As long as you're trying, you have another chance to win.
Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional creatures, but you gotta learn to discipline your emotions, discipline your thinking, staying focused on the goal, and not allowing your feelings and unproductive thoughts to get in the way of your progress. If you don't discipline and control your emotions and thoughts, they will use you.
You must have faith. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in your abilities, your ideas, your vision, unquestionably. And when you get punched in the face by life and you feel broken inside, you gotta be able to say to yourself, I've got to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why I showed up. You gotta talk to yourself day in and day out, selling yourself on you and on your potential.
And all I want you to do every day is just say to yourself, when you feel that inner negative conversation saying, you can't do it, you gotta shut that voice down. Tell it to shut up. Tell yourself, I can handle this. I can do this. I can get through this. I want you to stand up inside of yourself and demand that no matter how many failures I endure, I must keep going. No matter how many rejections I have to face, I must keep going. Regardless of the trials and tribulations that come against me, I must keep going. You get up every day, you look in the mirror, and you tell yourself, I'm a bat, and one way or another, I'm gonna make it happen today. This challenge I'm facing, this pain I'm going through, this is a test. This is the day I'm gonna find out if my goals really are my goals.
You're gonna get up, you're gonna get dressed, you're gonna get out, and you're gonna do what you've been called to do. You're gonna be what you've been called to be. And you're gonna prove to everybody that tried to break you, everybody that tried to stop you, everybody that tried to kill your dream, you're gonna prove all of them wrong. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion. I'm gonna prove I'm the greatest. There will never be another like me.
Champions aren't born. They're made through grit, sweat, and unwavering self-belief.
It's not about luck. It's about relentless dedication to your craft. When you step out that door, it's not just another day. It is an opportunity to unleash your greatness upon the world. You're not here to settle for mediocrity or to follow the crowd. No, you're here to lead, to set the pace, to show the world what's possible when you refuse to accept anything less than your best.
It's about digging deep and understanding that greatness resides within you. You've got to summon it, sometimes even with tears in your eyes. But under no circumstance can you throw in the towel or surrender. The enemy isn't out there. It's in your head, scheming to mess with your mind, to drown you in worries and stress and break your spirit. If you conquer it in your head, you'll conquer it everywhere else. So cry it out if you must. Rest it out if you must. Take a break if you must. Regroup, replan, but never let that fiery belief within you extinguish. It doesn't matter how long it takes or what you have to endure along the way. You're coming out of this mess. And you're coming out stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before.
I've been through the depths of despair, hit rock bottom, and felt the sting of defeat. But guess what? I still believe I'm coming out on top, and you should too, because that unwavering belief, that unbreakable spirit is what sets champions apart. So keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep believing, because there's no force in this world that can stand against the power of the determined human spirit. You can delay it, but you cannot destroy it. And as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you can muster enough strength to hold on and hold out, you will see yourself become victorious.
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, who are they? When they tell you you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. You got to be relentless.
If I can take it, I can make it.
The real challenge of growth comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream.
You keep standing. No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. Person that gets up off the canvas and keeps growing, that's the person that will continue to grow their influence.
You want to be persistent about what it is that you want to achieve. Alexander Graham Bell said, "What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it." You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You want it, and you're going to go all out to have it.
Yes, you have a dream, and the process is not supposed to be comfortable. So if it hurts, if you feel like you're under heat, if you feel like you're being pressured, welcome to the big leagues. When God looks like he's pulling you back, eventually he's gonna let you go. And the farther he pulls you back, once he releases you, boom!
The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, the hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. Don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line. And that's why most people never realize their personal greatness, because they're casual about life. And when you are casual about life, you will end up a casualty. Don't get caught up in, well, I tried it 4 or 5 times and things didn't work out. If there's something that you want and you're hungry for it, you got to do whatever is necessary until. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. I'm going to do it until. Once you find those things that will make it worth it for you, it is done. You know people, you've seen people that you can predict early on. That person is going to be a diamond. You know it. How they carry themselves, how they take care of business, how they follow through, how they keep their commitments to their commitment, how they work the system, their energy level, their passion. You know it. The mark is on them. You know it. That one's going to make it. And people must see that in you. And we've all had experiences where we were working on something and we knew it was possible. We took the responsibility to make it happen. Other people couldn't see it. A lot of people didn't believe it. People were opposing you, but you kept on doing it. It was hard, it was rough, it was difficult, but to you it was worth it. And eventually you got to a level you know, there's nothing stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on the move.
Everybody know what to do when everything goes right. Everybody know to show up and give everything they got when the sun shines. Everybody, when they get what they want, they're gonna come and they're gonna be great. But there's very few people that reach deep down and got the character that in the midst of opposition, in the midst of a challenge, to look at it with the right perspective, and not only look at it with the right perspective, process it the right way and figure out a way to use it.
What is it?
that will make it worth it for you. When you want to give up and things are working against you, to face the rejections, what is it that will make it worth it for you? To brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this. What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I got some more stuff in me, when you want to keep driving past the office because of the stress? What is it that will help you get back up again?
Some of us choose to stay down, but it's that motherfucker who constantly gets up as fast as they can. Those are the motherfuckers that make it in life.
All you do is you fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again. That's how you win.
You've got to activate the thinker in you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. You want to monitor your inner conversations, the things that you say to yourself. You want to watch them, and in watching them, you want to take charge. Oh, you really don't feel like it. You really don't need to do it. Forget all that. That's that inner conversation. Oh, you don't need to worry about trying to go into your own business. Forget that. You can't do that. What if you lose everything you've got? That inner conversation that stopped you from doing the things you want to do less, don't do that. Forget all that. And then I said, shut up. You'll get scared sometimes. Your mind will go blank on you. You've got to learn to stand up to yourself inside yourself and short circuit, override that conversation that's always going on. 85% of what that conversation will tell you is negative. It will tell you you're tired when you really are not tired. It will tell you you can't do it. It will fill you with fear. So you've got to watch that conversation. And when you find it going on, you've got to stand up to it and say, I'm going to do this anyhow. I'm afraid, but I'm afraid not to do it. And I'm not going to let you stop me. You got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. Some people you will allow to unnerve you. You can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. Shut up. I have got to do it. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself, working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue. It will determine the quality of your life. The biggest challenge that you will have in life is you, because there's no enemy within. The enemy outside can do us no harm. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach.
You're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. Average people use their time to complain. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
Live your life with passion, with some drive. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You want to live life with energy and passion. You want to be happy. You got a lot to be thankful for. Most people won't do that. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit.
You gotta get this beast mode. Everything about you has to say, I ain't playing. If it's to have, I'm gonna get it. And I ain't leaving none of it behind. It's mine. Beast mode. If you want to get your butt out to bed, grind from sunup to sundown, you can have the life that other people dream of.